We try. It's not easy to penetrate like a market that is full of artists and managements that have like the connection, the social connections, the promote, the money, the funding. You know, the Nigerian industry, the South African industry is really big, and coming from East Africa to penetrate through that and cross over the world is not easy. But you know, you do what you have to do, and you leave the rest, you know, to the universe to decide. So yeah, we try. If you have the music, the business side of it, of course, it requires like a lot of aggressiveness. You need to talk to a lot of people. You need to be patient. And yeah, my team has been, you know, doing its best, and I'm very proud of them. My manager, and seeing like other artists, fellow artists, also try to do the same thing or see the way I see things, how we can achieve being big dreamers. So I'm just excited about the future. That's what I can say. Yeah,
Absolutely.
very excited.
Likewise.
It's a good time.
It's a good
Good
time.
time. Things are really bubbling. It feels really positive.
You're a man with a clean face, you know.
Inside,
Hey, what's
inside,
up? Yeah, we
man.
here.
Come
Let's
on.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
So, yeah, just a straightforward conversation, simple things like what we're just discussing right now. We're gonna just touch on,
Yeah.
you know, who you are, your music business, the East African sound and the vibes and what's coming out of the region. You know, because I feel like we have we have an amazing eclectic like sound of different vibes and, you know, instruments and sounds and even like vocalists and lyricists, and like there's so much happening in that region. But I think sometimes it doesn't translate past just that region, you know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and I guess that what you're saying is the business side. Sometimes it's
yeah.
what needs
Yeah, it's what needs to
to
be
push it to the next
to
level,
put-
right?
Yeah, because we have the talent. We have
Undoubtedly, innit?
immense talent. It's just that, and I feel like also people are seeing it the wrong way, because when you look at the fans or even a few opinions that come from different sides, they're like, oh, maybe it's the artists that are not doing enough. The artists are doing their job, but it's the business side, the people who are handling the business side of the music industry in East Africa, who have to, you know, sit down and see what are they not doing right. Where do they have to, you know, improve? What risks are they willing to make? How big and can they all go in to actually achieve a bigger thing? So I feel like the artists are doing their best. When you go to Kenya, like, I don't know if you guys have taken time to go and deep and see the talent that's down there, besides the ones that you see on top, the Sauti Soul, the BN.
There's so much
But
more.
yeah, there's so much more, like good poets, good lyricists, good songwriters, good artists, performance. This, I feel like, even before the days, way back in the old days, Ugandan artists used to go and record in Kenya. Like, I feel like Kenya, I would translate Kenya is like Ghana in the west of Africa. I feel like the foundation there, the way they record music, because for them they even have live recording, you know, studios. Like you record everything live, and for them, I feel like their foundation as an industry is strong enough. It's just the business side that is actually holding us back as East Africans. Even when you come to Kampala, Uganda, you may find that there's so many amazing, talented artists, but then the people in the business side, and when you talk to the business side, I want to include the media as well. They're not doing enough to actually scout good music, good artists down there. I released my last single myself like 3 months ago, but for me, it's not like I don't like it. I like it, but it worries me when I see my song on the playlist every now and then. Yet there's so much music that is coming out. Why are you, as the music directors of specific radio stations, what are you not doing enough to go and scout out good music? Like, there's so many young kids that are releasing amazing music. I don't know if you've heard about Elijah Chitaka.
Yeah.
Then, like, that man never appears on any any playlist.
His
Like,
music's so
and I'm
dope.
like, this man is giving us amazing records. He's giving us good music. What are you guys not doing? So even the media as well is not on our side. Everyone it's just there for the vibes. They're not putting in the hard work. Like it's even the togetherness. Like everyone is like, okay, I'm not gonna stress. I don't care if you have the music here and you pay me some money for promo. That is what I'm gonna go with. There's nothing like sacrifice. Like, you know what? Let me do this for the industry. Maybe this is what I will be remembered for. This maybe this will put like a block to someone's career to go to the next level. So I feel like there's lack of passion. Besides the artist, there's lack of passion from the people that work with us as an industry, as artists. They leave everything to us. Like we have to first speak about it for them to actually realize, oh, there's actually this good artist, there's this good artist. And me as an artist, I actually even appreciate someone that sings in our language even more, because as they say, music is a universal language. You don't need to understand what I'm singing for you to actually like it.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I never understand whatever Asake sings. But I love his music.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. And I don't know, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe this conversation, when it gets to them, they'll be like, you know what? Oh my God, she's actually hitting the point straight to us. Maybe there's something that we're not doing. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Capital FM, KFM, Galaxy FM, all the radio stations down, even the TV stations. Like it's upon you guys to actually serve your fans good music, and you can't do that when you do not make research. You can't. You have to go down there and find these artists. Actually keep on coming to their play spaces and like, yo, I have this amazing record, please play my song. But then at the end of the day, it comes down to the paper. If you don't give me some little cash, I'm not gonna play your song. Then things like that are the reasons as to why our industry is in this stagnant, period. Yet we would have been so way, 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 way much further. Gone are the days where East Africans were like, oh my God, the country Uganda is actually doing so good in music. Like those days are gone. Right now, when you find any other East African that doesn't come from Uganda, they'll be like, what really happened to the Ugandan industry? Like what happened? You guys used to scare us. Right now, right now, I don't know. Like I feel like Kenya is doing. I feel like Tanzania is the country that is actually doing so good. Maybe because they do a little gatekeeping, but it's actually it's actually doing amazing for them, because now their country is giving their artists full support. Like, and also the initiatives that they create. Because I heard they have something like a telecommunication companies or companies that give out internet, like partnered. Let me say they can partner with TikTok, and they like, oh my God, we're gonna give you like an internet bundle that you can only use for TikTok to listen to music, or like an internet bundle that can only facilitate YouTube. You can listen and like stream music on YouTube, on YouTube, Tanzanian music. So we don't have that here. Also, the internet, that side is a little bit cheaper. I don't know how they do it, but in Uganda, it's the opposite. The internet, like for me, I can spend like, I would say a month, I can spend like $200 on internet.
Wow.
On internet. On internet. And the worst part is it's not even efficient enough. So you always
reliable.
yelling, like I don't know if you see tweets, someone is arguing like, you, what is wrong with your internet, this and that. So I feel like the system is so rotten, and this actually demotivates a lot of artists. A lot of people are demotivated by this. And also, I don't want to put this so much on the government, because I know they also have their part to play. There's a lot of stuff on their plate, but at least once in a while, you need to understand, because 78% of youth comprise of the entire population of Uganda, So 78% of youth, if that's the population of the youth, you have to understand that entirely that population is all in the creative industry. Film, modeling, writing, acting, music, painting, stuff like that. And they need to think about how they're going to subsidize us so that we also rise up. It's not like everyone is going to be in someone's office doing accounting or being a lawyer. No. Right now, our passions are away from just sitting in someone's office and, waiting for that check at the end of the month. We want to do a lot of things. We are into sports. We are into so many things. But you see that also the government is not coming in to actually help us. The worst they're doing right now is actually divide us. I don't know if you've been paying attention. Now, if you're an artist and you're not on the side of the government is going to come after you. They're not going to consider you. If you need to host an event at Kololo and they realize that you are anti-government, they might not give you that space to hold your concert because you're not on their side. You understand? So also them coming in a way that is just dividing us is also affecting us. I don't know if you see how politics is affecting our industry. And for them to see it in a good way that you can actually be an artist and have a huge influence on the country, for them, they see it as a threat, and when they see that as a threat, they're going to do whatever they can to actually, squeeze you so that you don't move anywhere. Bobby Wine does not perform anywhere. And I can understand maybe at some point he may be triggered to move away from the music and start politicizing the entire event. But then you cannot take the entire industry because Bobby Wine is a politician and punish us for that. No, you cannot do that. But then it's so sad that the government is doing that. Recently, they just gave a bunch of artists money. I don't know. They gave it to them in the name of subsidizing the industry. But you realize that this money was just shared among a few big artists, and everyone went back home. There's nothing fundamental that money did. Yet in actual sense, there's so many things we don't even need the government's money because the fans support us well enough. We just need them to do something that is going to help us long term. Even the artists that are going to come after me, they need to be able to benefit from that. Apparently, I heard Lugogo Cricket Over is going to be under reconstruction. So when you look around, that has been it's not like a space for entertainment. It's a sports venue, but it's the only space that was conducive enough to host an event.
Yes.
Because it's in the central, the security, even the movement is smooth and swift. But now it's going to go under a reconstruction. They're going to build an arena or something. We don't know how long that is going to take. So my question is, where are we going to be having our concerts? Where are creatives going to come together and do whatever they love or passionate about?
Yeah.
When you ask those questions, everyone goes blank. No one answers. And it's crazy that an artist that is just 5 years into the industry is the one who's actually concerned about that. What about the people that have been there 20 years, 10 years? What are they doing? Our copyright is still not enforced. You find, I released African Music. That was my second album.
Yeah.
And it was a hit album.
Great album.
Yeah. But you can go down to the street because for me, I find my ways and I move incognito down streets and down and above in the suburbs of Kampala, and you might find someone on the street selling your copy of your album, thousands of copy, each flash or CD with your entire full album. Yeah, he can sell it a 5K or 10,000, and imagine he sells 20,000 copies of that. I never get to receive any of that money.
Yeah.
And these are people that also who do not pay tax because they're not in the system, they're not registered anywhere. There is no system that tracks how their money comes in. So it's just, we need to do a lot of cleaning. And it's just so unfortunate that even the people that we trust to do that for us are not on our side. It's just for their own selfish reasons. So I'm just worried for the kids that are going to come into the game after me. And it's just so sad. This is why when I get platforms like this, I speak about, when you talk about this when you're back home, or maybe on any platform, they're going to come after you. And God knows what they're going to do to me, or how the threats they're gonna send. Because right now, if you speak about things like this, they're like, oh, you're running your mouth. You should stay quiet and just make your money because no one is coming to your space. But for me, I'm in this industry and I've been fortunate enough to gain something out of it. But then what about a talented artist that is actually as talented as me? What are they gonna do if they don't get the same opportunity that I got?
Yeah.
So it's for me, I don't wanna be selfish. Like I want everybody to win. That is how we're gonna rise together. And also the mentality. Way back home, they think people in this industry, we are dropouts. We are drug addicts. We are sex addicts. We're just into the game to just hoe around and fuck around with anybody. They don't know that this is actually a professional job that can sustain my life and the people around me.
You, yeah.
You know,
It's
like
an ecosystem.
when I'm doing so good, you will realize even the people around me are going to do so good. But the government does not even see that. I can bring in a lot of taxes if I'm actually doing so good. So if we have like 10,000 AZAWIs, imagine the revenue, the taxes you're going to collect as a country. But they don't see it like that. They see me as a threat. They're like, okay, now she's gonna get a big following, or like have a lot of people worshiping her or following her, and one day she's gonna do something that is gonna, threaten our power or stuff like that. It's just a cowardice mentality all around, and it's sickening. Like I'm telling you, it's sickening. It's not like I'm complaining, but it's just scary.
Yeah.
Like Joshua is a very talented artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's right now. These are the kids that would be representing us everywhere. Like we wouldn't be even doing certain workload should not be there if these guys were doing the right things. You understand? So for me as an artist, it's just scary. For me to actually even make money, I have to first step on stage. Like to actually make like meaningful money, I always have to step on stage. Yet there's so many avenues where I can make my money if the copyright law is enforced. I don't need to be performing everywhere, and it's one of the reasons why some events are not selling out. Because I was performing in one district yesterday, and today I'm at this event. So how are people gonna keep on coming if they keep on seeing my face now and then? You understand? So I don't know, man. Maybe it's gonna be the leadership of the entire country that is gonna come on and change everything. We live. At this point, it's just God. That's like you can't trust anybody to actually, do something special to change everything. We're just leaving it to God and whoever. I don't know. I just don't know. It's scary. It's scary.
Damn, that's interesting. You've made some really interesting points there.
Yeah.
And I think one thing I'll add to what you just said is maybe it's what I'm seeing and what I've been noticing for the past maybe 2-3 years is the artists themselves are building their own ecosystems. They're building their own events. Revenues of merchandise and other things, and supporting each other and coming to the UK and US and all these kind of things. So outside of the traditional system, the government or whatever else, they've got their own thing, which is
like
it shouldn't have to be that, but
like that is how you can
DIY.
That is the only way you can actually sustain yourself longer. Like it's risky to just depend on music entirely, more so if you come from East Africa. It is just a risky take. You can't. So if you are able to collect whatever you can collect, make sure you invest it somewhere, like a plan too, or like a fallback plan when music is no longer bringing in, the cash flow as it used to be. But is that how it's supposed to be? No, like it's So for me right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even imagine myself doing anything else. Like music is my entire passion. That even when I wake up one morning and I say, what, Azawi, I have retired. There's something that I'm gonna be doing that is still connected to music. Maybe I'll be having an artist. Maybe I'll be in 2 events. Maybe I'll be just scouting artists. I don't know. Like I don't see myself leaving this game. Like it's so infectious. The moment you come into it, you're not gonna ever leave it.
It becomes who you are.
Yeah, it becomes like it's a lifestyle. So when you take away music from me, man, I might even get depressed. You understand? So we need to fix so many things actually, and it has to start with the leadership the mentality itself. Like we have to start dreaming bigger as people in the industry, not just artists actually. Someone
Yeah.
wants to come in. Not just artists, but everyone that has anything to do with artists, the media, the promoters, the events organizers, everyone. We have to start thinking bigger. Yesterday, over the weekend, you come in. Yesterday, over the weekend, like a few days ago, anyway, it was on Sunday or Saturday, after the event that I was meant to perform. After the event that I was meant to perform, I asked the promoters, I'm like, okay, for how long are we going to keep on doing this? Like, are you guys afraid of hosting an event at the O2? At maybe even at the small O2? Like, we need to go to spaces that actually are recognizable, like spaces that, that that are easy to, to get attention. I was in a club somewhere and I bumped into a couple of Ugandans. And they're like, oh, Azawi, you're here. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I came for a performance. Did you guys come to? And they're like, where? Where was it? We didn't even know that you're in the country. Otherwise, we would have come and showed up. And I'm like, were you at the O2? Were you? And I'm like, okay. It was just it's in someone's backyard. That is where we hosted the event. So, and I'm like, this next thing, we need to take this to the next level. Like, let's get into spaces that are going to get us the attention that we need. Like, we have the numbers. Like, for me, if you put me on an East African event, you're rest assured Ugandans are going to come through because of me. You understand? So why are we not thinking bigger? Why are we always like thinking Ugandan themed events? Come up with an East African, festival, whatever it is. Like, let's think bigger. This is how we're going to get there. Like, this is how Nigerians have been able, West Africans have been able to penetrate, because for them, they want to compete with the best. They want to do crazy stuff. They're not afraid of taking risks. And we have the money. Back home, a random guy can come in a bar and spend 100K on a beach, even on alcohol, and blow it up. I'm going to tell you honestly. But you can find a West African, he will enter like a random bar, or maybe here in the UK, and he's like, I'm going to spend 100K in your bar, in your club. But the condition is, you're going to pay, you're going to play Nigerian music until,
until the money runs out.
Yeah, until the money. Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah.
You're just going to like bow down to that condition, because that is how they've been able to, to penetrate, like by force. They use the money. But us, when someone banks a lot of money, they're just going to spend it on hoes. Like, and every beach around town is going to be like, oh my God, that's the rich. That's
the big spender.
Yeah, the big spender. Like, what do you get from that?
Yeah.
Like, do something that is going to impact the community, that is going to impact people from your home. Like, why are we not thinking like that? That is why, for me, I like West Africans. For them, it's about us. Like, I don't know how they were raised, but for them, they're all about rising with their own. And for us back home, it's just the petty things. Like, you can get a whore anytime, any day. Imagine they say that he's the reason as to why Ugandan music, blew up. Blew up.
That's a
Do
legacy.
you know how many bitches you're gonna get because of that?
You build a legacy.
Yeah, you brought a legacy. Every bitch is gonna wanna, hang out with you. But you wanna sell out. You wanna like be famous for this petty reasons. So like, it's scary. We have money. We have people that are driving cars 2024. Like, I don't know, people in the diaspora or outside Africa think we are back home starving, we don't have electricity, we don't have money. That's wrong. There's people with money in Africa.
Big time.
Crazy money. Like, we're driving G-Wagons, we like living in mansions. Like, we have the money. But what is that money doing?
Yeah,
to
that's the
impact?
issue.
Yeah. So
That's the question.
it's
And it goes back to what you're saying, like the people within the industry that do the business, sometimes they're just there for the vibes.
yeah, they're just there for the vibes.
There's no elevation, there's
There's
nothing
no
building.
there's no elevation. So that is why, for me, when I get a chance to talk about these things, I feel people like, oh my gosh, she's coming off a little bit angry, but no, like, we're just acting so dumb at certain things, and
Sometimes that aggression is needed,
yeah,
though.
yeah, and of course some
A little
people,
bit.
I don't know, like a few people thought that I don't talk.
Yeah.
I do. It's just that in the start, I was too busy with my career.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like the people that have seen me for the past 5 years know what I can do. And of course, if anybody who doesn't know about me, got to know about me right now, and they went into my catalog, they would understand that this girl is actually a big deal.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I need to talk about certain things. Like, because people have known me for the music, what else can I do? Because this is how people actually get to connect with you even deeper. Yes, they know that you're a good artist, but are you all about just that? They need to understand that, I'm a crazy Manchester United fan.
Yeah.
You
Cup champions and that.
Let's not do that. Let's not go there.
yeah, you see, so like when you get
There's
to
more
a
to you.
you get to a point and you feel like people or your fans have to see like a certain side of you to actually connect. So you can go into the comments. I'm like, you know what, man, I even love you more to know that you're even a Manchester United fan. I even love you the more because now I know that you are all about the greater good.
Yeah, you're standing for something.
Yeah, you're standing for a certain cause that is meaningful. So that is why I'm talking. People that think that I always have stuff to say, and when I decide to say, I will say it as it is, and of course it might rub certain people in a bad way, but yeah, that is how it is. You don't have to agree with me all the time, and I don't want you to do that because we are different people. But I will say what I have to say. You either take it or not, and I'm okay with that. You understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate that's how you start a podcast. Yeah, give me something, Kerry.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think that I'd get involved in this, but with all that
I
you've
love
been
this.
saying, I
I'm
feel
loving
very
this.
inspired
I'm
to
loving this.
ask some questions and
Yes.
join the conversation, and it's a pleasure to be able to do this with you, Azawi. So you've mentioned your fans and the need or the desire to sort of open yourself up to having them connect with you on a deeper level. And that makes me think of community, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a trend, like a sort of an ongoing trend where artists are starting to form sort of fandoms or really strategize for how to really build a community around their work and themselves. What does in that context, what does community mean to you as an artist, as Azawi, and how can it potentially help you manifest what the change that you want to see?
First of all, community is, I would say, that is like my foundation. That is where I come from. These are the people that have raised me. Africa, you don't raise a kid by
Takes a
yourself.
village.
Yeah, it takes an entire village. So for me, actually, even when I'm back home, they're like, okay, Azawi, when are you going to get a little minute and come back to Nankulawe? Because those are the streets that raised me. So for me, community is meaningful. It means so much to me, where I come from, the people that raised me, the values, the norms, the culture. So it means something to me. And for me, as a person, being that I'm in a position that that is influential, like it's upon to me to talk about things that actually matter to them. That is why I get hurt when I see artists choosing the side that is not for the people. You're choosing the side that actually keeps you safe. You're not going to talk about the things that the people that raised you, that the people that saw you struggle, you're choosing like to just keep quiet and let them suffer just because for you're on the side of the people that are powerful, that that won't attack you, that won't threaten your career. For me, that's why it hurts me. And it's one of the reasons as to why our industry is not getting the support that they want. Because I've seen so many Ugandan artists say, oh my God, you people who are letting Nigerian music, West African music penetrate. But what are you doing for your fans? What are you doing for your fans? Of course, practically, I might not get like millions of dollars and invest and build hospitals or stuff like that because I don't have the money. But I might put some pressure on people that are responsible to do that, so that they deliver at the end of the day. That is why when you go back home, you're gonna realize that majority of Ugandan artists are on the side of the people that hurt the community. And for me, I find that really strange. Like, they're not even willing to talk because they're scared. Okay, you fine. Yeah, you're afraid to talk, but then even when you don't talk, it's pointless. So you rather talk, and whatever happens. So because now then you have the people on your side. You understand? That is when you talk. But when you don't talk, you won't have the people, and you won't, and even the people that you're afraid of, I don't know, pinching, are not going to protect you. The thing is, you're going to host a concert one day, and the people that you want to come and support you are not going to turn up, because at the end of the day, you don't also show up for them. You understand? You don't show up. You see how they go to hospitals and they don't find medication there. You see how they're moving on very poor roads. You see how they're treated in different spaces by the people who are supposed to protect them, but you say nothing because you're afraid they're going to come after you. I'm not that kind of artist. At the end of the day, you see the tweets that I make, the comments that I make. Like, for me, I always want people to what? To be happy. I want my people to be okay, because when they're not okay, they're not going to support me.
Yeah.
For example, one time I bought certain data bundles, and just like a couple of minutes,
Gone.
They were just gone. And I made a tweet. And these guys are cowards. They can never talk to me, but they're gonna send like a text to her and like, oh, your artist is attacking our telecommunication company. Can you tell them to take down the tweet? Or you're hurting the brand, or you're doing this. For me, like, I'm not like that. If you're not gonna give me an endorsement because of one tweet, then so be it. But I'm not gonna let you do that kind of fuckery in my eyes. I will speak about it. Because you're doing it so wrong. You're doing it so wrong. And for me right now, I would say that God has gifted me with this voice, and I have to use it. And I will use it. And I will use it despite the threats, despite how bad it can get. I will use it, because that is the only thing that I can give back to my community. If I make my little money, because usually for me, when I'm so happy on a good day and I have some little money, of course I'm not going to carry the camera and we go all over showing that stuff, no. But I'll find my few people on the street, and I'm like, yo, bro, are you good? Tell me what is the cost of the entire capital, and I'll give you whatever I can afford. That is how I do my small charity. I don't document it, because I know it's, for me, when I do that, I feel like it's not real. It's for the camera. Like, I don't like to do it that way. I don't do it that way. I will help my people in my own way, and I don't want to mention it. Like, you will never see me do that in front of their eyes. And of course, some people are like, yeah, we need proof. You motherfucker, you don't need proof. You don't need, because it's in the first place, you're not the one that told me to do it, to actually do it. So I don't need any justification from you. You understand? So it's my voice and the little that I can share. And because I know whatever that I've achieved, it is because of the community. So that is the least that I can do for them. Speak about things that matter to them, things that actually hurt them as my people. That is the least that I can do. And in the meantime, hopefully my voice can, make an impact, so that things can change for the better.
Yeah. I love that. The community is all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's the most important.
Yeah, like that
is
is why when I see an artist host an event and it flops, I'm like, you're not gonna put this on anybody. That's on you.
Yeah.
Period.
Where's your community?
Yeah, where's your community?
Where's your community?
Yeah, you
no, I
understand?
love that. And obviously, I mean, the music is what got you to this stage. And going back to getting into music and starting out in music, what was inspiration in the beginning? Because you were a dancer before, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know. It's crazy, because certain things, when you don't plan for something, there's a way it turns out. Because for me, I never saw myself being this kind of artist. Yes, I loved music, I loved dance, but my mind was not so much into it. Because even when we were young, we used to go for back home we have traditional music dance troops.
Yeah.
Like it's
Ndere.
Ndere, Chika dance troupe, and these groups have grown so many artists. The likes of Alex Mukulu. I don't know if you know about him. Like people that have been mentored by such troops or such people have turned out to be actually great, creatives in the industry, and I happen to be one of them. Back home, they call me percussive AZAWI. Like for me, if you send me a track and I don't feel percussions in it, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem because that was my foundation. That was my background. Because I entered this traditional dance group when I was in primary 5. I was like 10 years old, and I was there for like a couple of years, 3 or 4 years, and I learned a lot of traditional music dance. But I was just only a dancer of traditional. I can never do break dance or this, urban dance, and I don't know how they do that. But traditional music and dance, I'm well conversant with that. And I, of course, as I told you, I learned a lot of, music, folk music, the instruments. There's where do you come from? In Uganda?
Kisoro.
Kisoro.
Southwest.
What are they? Are those Bachiga?
Bafumbira.
Bafumbira.
But similar. It's more like the Kinyarwanda dance.
Oh, Kinyarwanda dance.
And drumming. Yeah.
On the drum and the long drums, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm very familiar with that. And when I left that group, I'm like, okay, what else are you gonna do? Because now I'm going into high school. I have to study, and then the good thing, while I was in that space, I made a couple of friends. So when they heard that, Priscilla has left Chika, we can actually link up with her and do something, special. And my friend that I linked up with happened to be a music director at some NGO called Christopher. And when we linked up, we agreed that, bro, I'm going to be teaching the kids, the traditional dances, and you're going to be able to pay my fees. You're going to figure out a way to pay my school fees. So we agreed that, and it happened, and we worked together for some time. So the school that he took me for the bursary, he happened to be also the music teacher. Mind you, I was not singing. In the dance troops, I was just a dancer. When it's time for dance, this is when I come in. And they used to call us... it's crazy. They used to call us abanukuzi. Abanukuzi are the people, are the backup. That is what they call it in English. Like you're the backup artist. So, and I was also very poor at that because I used to know to actually sing any little bit. So we could just be clapping and you do your singing. When it's time for dance, I come and dance. So now we're here and it's like, why don't you join the school choir? I'm the school, I'm the one that teaches the school choir. Why don't you join? And I'm like, yo, bro. I'm very poor at that. I'm like, you never know, just come in. So this one time, I'm out of the math lesson, so banged out by that entire lesson, tired. So I pass by. And I actually enjoyed it. It was crazy. I enjoyed it. He was very funny. We laughed. And I'm like, okay, I think I can actually, do this. So I kept on going there. I used to speak a lot of English, and he's a man that spoke a lot of the local one, Luganda. So he was like, so when he wrote the school songs that the school choir were meant to sing, he was like, can you help me translate this in English? So that is how I started to write. So like I started to help him translate to English. At some point, I started to actually write my own songs in English. So when we used to go to studio, I made friends with the producers at the studio, so I used to come back for my private sessions and, record my own music. So that is how I get into writing and recording music. So I made so many producer friends, and that is how I actually got to link up with Eddie Kenzo, because I had written a couple of demos for myself, and I'm like, bro, I can sell you some music if you don't mind. Because at the point, he was into signing out new artists and making his own record label. So I'm like, I can be the songwriter that you can rely on whenever your artists need like new songs. So yeah, we linked up, and he also introduced me to Kusame, his producer by then, producer Kusame. He was like, she's actually a good songwriter. You can, have like your private, sessions and make music together. You can never know. And I'm forever thankful to Eddie Kenzo for that, because if I did not meet Kusame, maybe we wouldn't have been where we are. Because when I met Kusame, we made records like Kwenamino, Repeat It, the songs that actually came onto my first EP. Yeah. So actually, even this music, we were meant to just sell it
to another artist.
Yeah, to another artist. Because it was like, hey, Azawi, yeah, I made my own studio. Hey, Priscilla, I made my own studio. Can you come by whenever you have like a space? Because by that time I was at uni, and balancing time with uni and also working because I had to help my mother back home. She had a restaurant, and also being able to go to studio, it was a little bit tricky, but I found like means. So when I went this time, I found him. He had already made that Queen Amino beat. I went at the studio and I, created something. So by the time Queen Amino was done, he was like, "Oh, which artist do you think can actually sit on this record?" And I'm like, "I can only think of one artist. That is Winnie Waji. Winnie Waji is what? In Swang's Avenue."
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're gonna look for Swang's Avenue, and we give them the record label. We give them the record. So I remember amidst all that, he told me, by the way, don't be surprised if those guys give you like sign you, because I heard they're into the market of signing new artists again. They had taken some little time, big time, without signing anyone after Ntali. But then they were like, I'm like, oh my, you're bluffing. Stop. Stop saying things that you don't understand. So yeah, he's forwarded the song to Julius, one of the founders of the record label. Yeah. And he reached out and he was like, "Oh yeah, they told me this song belongs to you, and yeah, we would like to work with you, and we want you to be like our songwriter whenever we need like music. You're the first person we call." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm open to it." So he's like, "Do you have other demos?" In actual sense, I did not have like Swang's Avenue quality, so I went back to saying we wrote Low Fit, Repeat It, and I also like I'd recorded like a few records from the previous producers, Renix and NIC. So I also added them on the batch. So I sent him like 6 projects. So he sent me a message and he was like, "You know what, let's meet on Monday and, talk about this deeper." So I go to Swang's Avenue. We actually had a small meeting with Kusemi, and he was like, "You know what, make sure you don't go below $300 per song. Make sure you don't go below that." So I'm going to their offices thinking, "Hey, I'm just gonna sell my records.
Songwriter.
I might leave with $1,000 or $1,500. I don't know." So I go there. Benon comes in and Julius comes in. They start asking me a couple of questions. "Why are you not singing?" And I'm like, "I don't have the money. I don't have the team to push the music. That is why I'm just doing the songwriting." Mind you, I wasn't actually even doing the songwriting that deep. It was something that I just did occasionally. So they're like, "I'm thinking we would like to work with you and, have a contract for you." And honestly, my mind froze for a minute. And I'm like, same as a witch. Because he told me this already. So I left the offices. I walked like, I don't know if you guys know, from Swang's Avenue up to Muyenga. That's like...
Where's Swang's?
Swang's is in industrial area. Okay. Yeah, 3rd Street.
Muyenga,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I walked. I had the money to actually take a border, but I needed that time to process that on the way.
A long walk to
yeah,
freedom.
so yeah. And that is all happening. Kusem is blowing my phone and like, tell me what's happening. Messages are coming in. And I'm like, you know what? Let me first go to this guy's place and tell him what actually happened.
Yeah.
I go to him and I'm like, "Bro, you're a motherfucking witch, a prophet or something. These guys want to give me a contract." I told you, he's bald, eh? He just,
He's a genie.
He just, touch his head and like, I told you, so what are you going to do? I'm like, of course I'm going to take the contract. And this very music is the music that we're going to release as my own music. Can you imagine?
Wow.
So after hearing that, it was like, you know what? You need to actually record more records. So I went into studio. That is when I started working. The EP was already done. That is when I started working on African music. Yeah, so we recorded Slow Dancing, Kuchido. Like so many records came on that album made by Kusem, African music, because we recorded so much music together. Loving You is Easy, Kuchekede, so many songs, and others from different producers as well. So by the time the EP was out, African music was already
ready to go.
Wow. So we released the EP. It like my first record was a big song. Like I don't know how to make songs that don't sell out. I'm pretty.
Come on, yes, talk your shit. Talk
Okay,
your
yeah.
shit. I love that. Yes.
We stay humble.
Nah.
Stay humble.
Sometimes
The
you gotta let
numbers
them know.
back it.
Listen,
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Yes.
So yeah.